Hi, this is Richard Lynch. You're watching ilovelimerick.com, and today I'm at the Bell Table with playwright Joanne Ryan to speak about her play In Two Minds, taking place this week, October 18th to 21st at the Bell Table. Joanne, I am so honoured to be here with you right now, and I'm so excited to see the play. Your mom, Gloria, who passed away in 2020, was bipolar. What inspired you to write the play about your mom?
Well, the show is inspired by our experience, but the characters are not us. So they're different characters. But I was inspired by my mother, who asked me to write the play. So she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder very late in life,
65.
at the age of 65, yeah. And so she had the experience of telling loads of people that she was bipolar, and she was thrilled because it made sense of a lot of her life, and it meant that there were treatment options that she, wouldn't have had before. And so she was really happy, but she was kind of met with a lot of confusion and misunderstanding and fear, because of deeply entrenched stigmas around mental illness in Ireland. So she asked me, would I consider, when we'd finished making existentialism, because at the time she asked me, I was interviewing her as part of my research for existentialism, which was a show I made in 2016 about me trying to figure out whether or not to have a kid. And she said, when you finish this show, will you consider writing one about bipolar disorder, please? So. And
your mom was a single mom. I know you were born in London. She got pregnant and she had to go to London, God bless her, and have you there. And eventually she brought you back to all your wonderful cousins and your family, back to Limerick where you belonged.
Limerick, kid.
And so your mom had a very tough struggle, always been stigmatized, first by being an unwed mother, then by having bipolar. Why do we have so many stigmatisms about all these things that we should be offering people support and love rather than stigmatizing them?
There's such a long history in Ireland of fear and misunderstanding around mental illness, I think. And that's why she wanted me to write the show, and why I decided to go ahead and do it, is to help to challenge some of those stigmas, hopefully, and to humanize somebody with a condition. Because one of the other reasons that she asked me to write it, she said that day, was that she felt like as a country we were kind of very gradually acquiring a vocabulary to discuss mental illness, which was great, but that those discussions tended to be focused around conditions like depression and anxiety and stories of recovery. And so an unfortunate byproduct of that is that it's kind of served to deepen stigmas around conditions like mood disorders. So people kind of think, oh, well, we never hear humanising stories about those conditions, so they must be the real crazies kind of thing. And I think she had a great point,
And your mother was a really creative person. I always find people that maybe are struggling with their mental health, sometimes are extremely creative people.
Well, very sensitive. So I think there's like a sensitivity maybe that comes with feeling things so intensely. Because bipolar is such a fascinating
the highs and the
condition,
lows.
Yeah, because you're having like a kind of, in some ways, just more intense experience. Because we all have highs and lows. We all have good days and bad days.
And depression and
so it's just a more kind of extreme, intense experience of those things, And when she was high, we had amazing times together, and
she was funny.
Which is funny anyway. She's a hilarious woman.
Met her.
Anyway, like really hilarious when she was high, but she also had a real sensitivity to art, especially music, poetry. She'd be calling me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to read me a poem that she just found. Spent hours, days dancing, singing. So more kind of intense sensitivity to art as well, which was gorgeous.
Because it was only the two of you. It was two of you against the world, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a really intense unit.
And how did you cope with her getting depressed? Like, she'd have long period bouts of depression. How did you cope with that as a kid? Because you wouldn't have understood any of that, would you?
No, I think as a child you just kind of normalize whatever's going on around you, don't you? And especially because I was an only child, as you were saying, and she was an only single parent, there isn't anyone else to reflect the experience back to you, so you can't kind of go, hang on, did you see that? What's going on there? There's nobody else to do that with, so you just kind of normalize whatever's going on. But she was like an impeccable parent, she was just the most amazing mother, I know everyone says that about their mother, but she really, really was. as soon as I was born, that was it. I was her life, and she made me feel like I could be anyone and do anything.
And the two of you lived together. That was your inspiration for the play. She was getting her house renovated and had to move in with you for a short period of time.
She asked me to write the play, and I was thinking about it. It was in the back of my head for a couple of years, and I was wondering, is it the right thing to do for us or for her, you know? And what should the form be, and what should the setup of the play be, and all of those things. And then one year she was getting an extension built onto the house, and she had to move out while the work was being done. And so first she went to stay with my aunt for a while, and then she came to stay with me, and I was living in a tiny one-room studio apartment. And she one day I came home and she was starting to go into a mood cycle. She'd kind of taken to the bed, and you know, the emotional temperature had changed in the room. You know, when you walk in and you just know. And luckily it didn't progress. You know, we were able to intercept it over the next couple of days, and it didn't progress, and everything was fine. And we had a great time. But I remember thinking, oh God, like what would have happened?
It's just the two of you in a room.
If it had progressed and she'd gone into a full mood cycle and we were in this one room together. And I thought that should be the setup for the play. Because then we'll experience what happens during a full mood cycle. The daughter, the character, will be forced.
And you were recording her mood cycles.
Yeah, so this was afterwards, once I decided on the setup. So I was thinking, what would happen? Like, what would that situation do to the characters? What would that do to their relationship? What would it change in the relationship if they were forced to be in this room? And I was thinking, like, how exciting that would be for an audience as well, to go through that process along with the daughter. So I realised that was the right setup for the play, discussed it with my mum, she thought it was a great idea. And then I got a commission from Belltable Connect, developmental commission, and we started documenting her moods together, recording her in different mood states, having like hours and hours and hours and hours of conversations about everything, you know, our whole lives together, and kind of retrospectively looking back on, oh, that's what that was, oh, that's what that was, oh, that was the symptom.
It's amazing you had this with your mother before she passed away. It's incredible. Like.
Yeah, so
I know Fish Amble are producing the play. They're amazing.
Yeah.
So there would be situations in the play maybe that you've experienced. How does that feel to actually watch it on stage?
It's amazing. It's like they have done such an incredible job with the production. It's directed by Sarah Jane Scaife, and she's phenomenal, expert in movement and surrealism. It's just directed with incredibly gentle, sensitive precision, and the actors are phenomenal, like Pom Boyd, you know, from The Dry, and Frank of Ireland, and an incredible comic actress.
Her reputation is impeccable.
Yeah, she's so funny, and the daughter's amazing, Karen McCartney, you know, incredible actress. The two of them are a tour de force, you know. So, and I think the designers have done such an amazing job bringing the whole story to life and creating this experience for the audience. It's very moving. Like, I've been to see every show because I had different people. We were just in Dublin Theatre Festival, had an amazing run.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, I'm thrilled. And I knew different people coming in different nights, and people had travelled from abroad and from all over the country, so I was going to see the show with them every night. And every night I have laughed at different things and cried at different things. You know, it's just such a funny, moving production. There was a moment in rehearsal actually where there was quite a challenging scene. I was in rehearsals one day and there was quite a difficult scene, and it just like, I was like ugly crying the whole way through, bawling my eyes out. And at the end, the actress Karen came over and gave me the biggest hug, and we just held each other because she was going through that experience as the actress, the experience that I had in my life. It was a really special moment, you know. So.
And in the dark times, like, this play is funny. I've read the reviews, because in the dark times, that's what pulls us through, isn't it? Like you said, you and your mom laughed so much. You constantly laughing. She was so funny. Even when she was presenting with her highs, she would have you laughing, and she would even be funnier. That's their coping mechanism, isn't it? To laugh. And you wanted that represented, didn't you?
Totally. And this won't be everyone's experience of bipolar disorder, Richard. There's as many presentations as there are people with a diagnosis. Like, it's a spectrum disorder. But all I could speak to was our experience, and there was a lot of charm and joy and laughter and love and magic in the highs, you know. And also just the character, it was really important to me that the characters were really funny and the baseline of the mother was very funny, and she is pure Limerick. Like I just cannot wait for Limerick to be bringing the show to Limerick audiences this week.
And you workshopped it 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So your mum actually must have seen.
She saw the first work in progress, which was on here in Belltable as part of First Fortnight Mental Health Arts Festival in 2017. She was sitting in the front row. She was the star of the show. Everyone was queuing up to talk to her afterwards. She was thrilled, delighted with herself, and she loved it. Yeah, and that was really a really important test for me, because I was like, it's easy to, you might think you want something, and then when it's different, when it's in public, and your best and worst moments are on a stage, you know. So it was that test was really important for me, that she was happy and comfortable and still wanted to go ahead. And she did, she was delighted. And then we worked together on the script, and there was another work in progress in Smock Alley in Dublin in 2019 as part of First Fortnight, and she couldn't make it to that, but she had seen a recording of it. So even though she isn't alive today, sadly, to see the finished production, you know, I know I have her blessing.
And what do you think she would say if she saw the finished? What would she say to you?
Oh, she'd just be thrilled, you know. I think, and so proud.
That you're breaking down the stigmatism.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of her, because really, I mean, it's her bravery and her exceptional bravery and strength of character that has allowed it to be made, you know. I'm
so grateful that you are contributing something to the society to normalize the fact that we all get sad, we all get down, we all get depressed, but it's how we support and love each other is what really counts.
And really the play, like one of the characters has bipolar disorder, but really the play is about the mother-daughter relationship, and it's about the deep love and the bond between them.
It's a love story.
It's a love story between a mother and a daughter, and how they navigate the challenges and how they overcome. And that's what it's about at its heart, you know. And
since she passed away, how have you processed the whole experience of your friendship and your relationship with one another? Where does she stand in your heart now? She still is everything to you, isn't she?
Yeah, I think it's funny, like when she was dying, because we knew she was dying, she had liver cancer, and when she was dying I was walking around thinking, but where does the love go? Where does the love go? You know, when you're losing somebody, where's all this love going to go when they die? And then what you discover is that it doesn't go anywhere. It just stays.
Yeah.
So, you know, my love for her love for me is present all the time, every day, and our relationship continues, you know, like I still discover things about her and our relationship all the time, especially now that I have a son. I understand, you know, that gives me an insight into, I reflect on how I was parented and all the things she did for me, and so I feel like our relationship is still developing in a strange way, and yeah, the love is just still there all the time.
Joanne, I'm so proud of you. Limerick is so proud of you. I'm here with Joanne Ryan speaking about her play Into Minds, taking place this week, 18th to the 21st at the Belltable. It is also playing at a matinee this Saturday, October 21st. I'm actually going to this matinee. I'm so excited. I know it's a very sensitive subject, but this is a play that's going to make you laugh as well as cry. So I urge you all to go see it. This is Joanne. Thank you, Joanne. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks so much, Richard.
This is Richard Lynch. You're watching ilovelimerick.com, and we'll see you this week at Into Minds at the Belltable.